nuestro proyecto se trata de las relaciones entre afroamericanos y latinos en Estados Unidos. Entonces, nada más estamos haciendo como una encuesta en las opiniones, nada más en general, de todo tipo de latinos, o sea, primera generación de inmigrantes, los que han estado aquí, los que son chicanos, americanos, ya sabes, y aparte de los negros también, o sea, afroamericanos. Ya. Aquí, ahora cuando llegaste a Estados Unidos, ¿qué fue la primera impresión
porque yo vine en el 2002, vine de vacaciones.
Ah, ok.
Entonces vine por un mes. Sí, fue fuerte porque nunca había visto negros tan negros, nunca había visto así. Entonces, lo que me llamaba la atención que era muy negro, muy gordo, la gente muy obesa también me llamó la atención.
Y desde entonces, ¿cómo te has llevado con los negros? O sea,
mira, yo a veces trabajo en Brooklyn, que allá hay bastantes negros.
Ajá.
Ay, se portan malcriados. Se creen que porque son negros hay que aguantarles todo. Sí, de verdad, son malcriados. Quieren agarrarme todo aquí. Yo le digo que no y son agresivos. Sí, son agresivos los negros. Entonces, pero aquí los negros de allá, porque los negros de Manhattan no son igual, se comportan más civilizados.
Pues sí.
Sí.
Ajá. Entonces tú piensas que eso no piensas que sea por sus razas.
Yo creo que, no sé, yo pienso que ellos al vivir en Brooklyn, donde hay bastante negro, yo creo que ellos se sienten más protegidos. Yo creo que eso se siente como que es la ley de ellos y ellos saben lo que hacen. En cambio en Manhattan, como no hay tanto negro como en Brooklyn, se portan como...
Entonces tú piensas que es como seguridad social.
Exactamente.
Ok, y una pregunta más sobre racismo, ¿no? Dices que tú ahí en tu vecindario en Brooklyn haces
No, donde a veces yo trabajo en Brooklyn, pero no que yo viva en Brooklyn, yo vivo en New Jersey.
Ah, ok, pero en Brooklyn, entonces
¿qué? Trabajo en Brooklyn, sí, la gente, los morenos son agresivos.
¿Y qué te dicen o qué te han dicho, por ejemplo?
O sea, no es que no me digan nada, sino que como yo trabajo en esto, ellos quieren agarrar todo. Quieren que yo les dé, si llegan 10 morenos, quieren que yo les dé a todos. Entonces yo no les doy a ninguno, entonces se ponen todos.
¿Pero por qué? ¿Cómo que les des? ¿Que les regales?
Claro, que les regale. Entonces, yo le digo que yo les doy, pero le doy a uno. No le voy a dar a todos, le digo, porque este negocio no es mío, le digo, yo trabajo. Entonces no entienden y quieren que yo les dé a todos, entonces yo les cierro la ventana y se ponen a tirármela, a agarrármela. Entonces, por eso te digo, en cambio aquí en Manhattan no hacen eso los morenos. Y siempre andan en grupo, nunca va a ir uno solo.
Y latinos también, o sea, que son, por ejemplo, de barrios también. ¿No te ha tocado que ellos son?
No, yo no. No, porque a veces me piden, también les digo, si van dos, no, pero no. Ellos siempre compran. En cambio, el otro quieren que se lo regalen.
Y en términos de racismo, ¿quién crees que son más racistas, o sea, los negros o los latinos?
Mira, yo creo que ellos se creen que todavía están en la época de la esclavitud, entonces ellos creen que porque son negros hay que tenerle mucho respeto y cualquier cosa te acusan de racismo. Yo pienso así, ellos creen que todavía la gente los trata como esclavos y eso no es verdad, entonces se aprovechan de eso.
Do you feel like in the Dominican Republic there is a lot of tensions between blacks and the indigenous people that really they don't want to be seen?
A lot of Dominicans, they deny their roots. Like a lot of them say, I'm not negro, like I'm just brown or I'm just tan. Like they don't want to be associated. If you call a Dominican, oh you're black, they get offended. And my grandmother, she's like that, and she's darker than me. And I tell her, but you probably have roots going back to Haiti, you know. And she says no because I'm Dominican, you know. I'm not Haitian, yo no soy morena. So they still have that.
And for example, do you identify yourself as a Latino or a black? Because
I identify myself as Latino because my parents are Dominican, but I don't deny that I probably do have black roots, you know.
And how do you feel about that?
I mean, to me, I don't feel anything different. Yeah. It's just I know people look at me, a little bit different.
Yeah. And who do you think is more racist, like Latinos or blacks?
I don't know, but for me, I think Latinos, because we were taught that I guess black people do bad things. Like, you know, on the news, every time you see, oh, black man did this, black man killed that, and we're taught like, oh, to sorry, like the morena, they have nasty attitude, this, that, and the third, you know?
Do you feel like, for example, you are like statistically a second generation, right, Latino, right, here in the U.S. What do you think about relations in the future, Black-Latino relations in the future? You know, starting with us, right?
I think it's gonna get better because, like, we go to school and we integrate more also, and then you notice like we're getting into relationships. Like, it's not just like Latino with Latino now. It's like Latinos with Black, or Latino with Chinese and stuff like that. And it's like, I don't mean to sound cliche, but it's gonna be like a melting pot.
Yeah, yeah. In your experience here in the U.S., what has been like, your encounters? What can you describe your encounters with Latino people?
With Latinos, well, most of my friends are Latinas.
Yeah.
So it's been pretty good. Nothing different. I mean, the food is different, but we kind of have the same food too, just different names. So it's pretty good. I wouldn't say that there's a problem because we face like the same issues. So I wouldn't say there is a like big social problem between them.
Yeah.
We have the same problems and we kind of have the same opportunities available to us. So, and we're like the two minority groups. So I don't see a problem.
What would you say about the issues that have arisen, especially like in big cities, big urban areas like LA and here in New York, where there have been a lot of hate crimes? You know, in LA there's a lot of there's like gangs of Latinos that target African Americans, right? And there's here in New York there's been a lot of killings of African Americans calling, you know, an Ecuadorian a wetback, and they killed him. Remember, like in the news, there was recently I don't know if you heard about him. His name is Sekuzanai, and he was an Ecuadorian immigrant who was killed by 3 black men.
There are racial killings, but they're few and far between, you know, because of the simple fact that we have similar issues. What affects one group, chances are probably affects the other group. So I think those killings that happened were just like isolated events. As for the gangs, I'm not too sure about the gangs, you know, gang violence against African Americans, but sorry to hear that. That's really bad.
I mean, and your experience is very different, right? Because you're from Jamaica and you're not from here.
I mean, we have gangs in Jamaica too, and you know, but that's bad for like the minority groups to be turning against each other. I mean, it's anything they should be uniting to fight against the other groups, not turn against themselves.
Yeah. Do you feel like, in terms of, I don't know if you heard about the debate about saying that a lot of black people do say that Latino immigrants take away jobs from blacks?
That's not true, because a lot of Latino immigrants work the jobs that black people don't want to work anyway, so that's not true.
Okay. In terms of like racism, who would you think is more racist? I mean, I know that your experience is very different, right? But
I would say African Americans are more racist, but then again, it depends on what area of the United States you're from. Because I've met some Latinos, the males, who are like, they're racist in the sense that they won't date African Americans, or even if they date you, they want to take you home to meet the parents.
Wow.
You know, so it's kind of both ways.
Yeah.
It depends on certain issues. You just can't have a conversation with certain Latinos about because they're so close-minded. So I think it's across the board.
Yeah. Do you think relations are gonna get better or worse?
I think it is getting better because of the simple fact that you can walk down the street. I'm a Latino, and an African American woman, and there will be stares, but no one will outrightly say to you that what the hell or what the fuck is that, you know? So it is getting better. Unfortunately, it's taking too long, but it's getting there, and hopefully we'll get to the point where no one will even look. They'll just be like, oh, they're together.